Hey, Tim here, host of the Invisible Condition podcast. It's been a while since I've recorded a little journal entry. I've actually recorded a few, but just felt they were vulnerable and didn't want to share them. But today I'm just re-recording a couple of those thoughts and ideas. And I got to thank my good friend Tamara for this thought, moments of joy. I'll admit the past while has been a struggle. It's been challenging. The summer was great, and maybe I got too used to the routine of getting my work done, my paid work done, my invisible condition work. Well, actually didn't really get done because I kind of paused a bunch of that stuff, but getting back at it in September was hard. To top it off, I made a decision to pursue a master's degree, and this is something that has been on my mind for many, many years. I have this idea that I want to teach one day, and I thought getting a master's will get me there, and it will eventually. However, a couple weeks into the program, I just had to pause and unpack a few things. I was miserable. I was cranky. I was exhausted. But one of the most important things was that my health started to take a turn. Living with Crohn's disease, at least for me, stress is a massive contributor to flares. And, my doctor said to me, Tim, you need a job without stress. And, I think I've been designing that in life, even though it's still stressful, but, adding on this idea of a part-time job of a master's degree, because it equated to minimum 17 hours a week of work for the next almost 18 months. I felt so stretched and stressed. And something had to give. And I had to make the tough decision to remove myself from school. And it sucked. I want to pursue school. I want to pursue education of some sort. I don't know what it's going to look like, but a friend reminded me that, teaching doesn't have to be in the classroom. It can be in other places. And strangely enough, a few organizations reached out and asked if I would consider coming in and providing some workshops. So that's been pretty cool. I actually received a deposit from one of these clients recently, and it just feels surreal. And this summer, I picked up a book. I've been following Brianna Pastor for a while on Instagram, and they've got a book called Good Grief. One of the little poems in this book says, "Your growth will be more apparent when it is being tested." Your growth will be more apparent when it's being tested. And I have to admit, I felt like I was being tested. One of my defaults is when I'm stressed, I say yes to everything, which is odd because I thought maybe if I'm stressed, I wouldn't actually say yes to things, but I said yes to a lot. A lot of cool conversations had happened, and I wanted to jump in and support organizations outside of the work I'm doing with Invisible Condition. And on top of that with school, I just so overloaded, and I was being stretched. And I feel like this was a moment of growth because I was definitely being tested. And what it reminded me, well, actually, I didn't remind myself. My dear partner in life, Tanya, reminded me that I say yes to things because they seem cool, or maybe it's driven by ego. But do they align with my vision and my values? So maybe you're listening to this today. Maybe you're struggling with something. Maybe you are struggling to find that moment of joy in life. But as soon as Tanya said that to me, I was reminded of what, again, my friend Tamara said, is that moment of joy. What every day there's moments of joy. So when you're stressed, When your body feels horrible, your mind isn't what it needs to be, you're just feeling run down. Maybe take a pause, shut off your device, close your eyes, go for a walk, whatever you need to do, and think about that moment of joy. Think about, how are you growing in this season? Think about the people that you might be able to rely on or might be able to reach out to guide you through a conversation of joy, of growth. Living with a chronic condition is hard, isn't it? Maybe you're listening to this and you're a caregiver and it's hard. Maybe you're listening to this and you are an HR professional or a leader in a workplace and you've got people on your team who live with something and it's hard. When we get caught up in that negative mindset, how do we react? We have to choose how we react. You could be like me, get completely overwhelmed, say yes to everything, and then crash and burn. Or filter things through your values. Now, I realize this journal entry is covering off on a lot of different topics, but I want to centralize it on a couple things. 1, finding that moment of joy. 2, it's okay to say no to things. No does not necessarily mean no forever, but maybe it just means no for this season. Maybe that advice is helpful for you if you're looking to advocate for yourself in your workplace, your school, or with your doctor. And 3, maybe take some reflection on, in this season you're in right now, how are you growing? It's amazing when we reframe things from a negative to even neutral or a positive. Just something happens in our brains, doesn't it? If we go from this place of, I'm so overwhelmed, life sucks, school sucks, family, everything sucks, to, I am so overwhelmed, what is this telling me? It's hard to do the reflection sometimes, but it's so incredibly important. So with that is my rambling journal entry for today. I hope it resonates with someone, but if anything, these journal entries are so therapeutic for myself. And yes, that's selfish to say, but there, I said it. Maybe you are thinking about starting a podcast and to start your own journal entries. Let me know. Happy to talk about that. But most importantly, I'm here for you. I want you to take care of yourself, and if you're struggling with that, you don't need to do it alone. So let me know if I can support in any way. And if I can't, there's a list of great people on my website under the resource tab who are happy to support you as well. So with that, I hope you have an amazing day, and stop what you're doing, stop listening, and go and find that moment of joy today, and then do it again tomorrow, and then the next day.